Cuando me dieron los resultados de VIH, me dieron 1 año de vida. Mi mamá me acompañó a hacerme la prueba y cuando fui a buscar los resultados 2 semanas después, salió positivo.
I'm here to share my story with you. See, I have HIV. November 23rd, it's gonna be 17 years that I have HIV. When I was 21, I met this guy. He was so cute. He had a nice smile, a nice butt. Sorry. The right lines, you know, like, you're my princess. I'm gonna marry you. So we got engaged to get married. And I said, honey, have you ever been tested for HIV? And he said, sure, I'm negative. I said, okay. So I decided to have sex with him. And it took me 2 seconds to make the wrong decision. And a year later, I started having a lot of yeast infections, you know, female infections, they wouldn't go away. The doctor said, something is wrong. I think you have cancer. So let's do a biopsy test, and let's do the HIV test to rule it out. So the biopsy test came out negative, HIV test came out positive, and they gave me 1 year to live. When I went home and I told him that I was positive, he said, I knew I was going to take someone with me. I never thought it was going to be you. I always say, you know, that boyfriends and girlfriends come and go, but HIV stays with you forever. Get tested and retested, okay? When I finish the lecture, I'm hoping that they go and get tested. I would like for them to accept people with HIV. They're just like everybody else. Just be compassionate and learn about it. There's a campaign, the name is Soy. I'm the representative of the whole campaign. And it shows that I'm positive, but I am positive. I have a positive outlook in life. I'm just like you. And my mother is part of the campaign, and it's been an honor for me. Because of the Soy campaign, I had a lot of opportunities. I've been on the Christina show.
Tú lo único que le dijiste a él es que era VIH positivo.
The best part about the Univision shows is that I get to see my mom a lot. I saw her like 4 times because they flew her in the whole time, and that was great. My mom is a rock for me. Her strength is contagious. If she was not in my life, I might not be alive today.
Vas a seguir porque esta es tu misión y la mía, de las dos. Pero para eso yo estoy aquí, para apoyarte. Estaré siempre contigo. En este momento yo tengo fortaleza y mi fortaleza y yo te la paso a ti. No quiero que llores, ¿no?
People don't know, they really don't know about this illness, and they're ignorant about it. But I'm just like everybody else. You know, I have a soul like everybody else. I just have an illness that has no cure. 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with AIDS. My T cells went down. There's a difference between HIV and AIDS when you have from 800 to 1,200 T cells in your body. When your T cells go under 200, that means that you have AIDS. And I take a lot of holistic things. I do acupuncture, hypnosis, meditation, and I don't take any medications because that's a personal choice. And I make educated decisions with my doctor. I always go to my doctor. Every 3 months I go to my doctor, check my labs and everything.
I've encouraged her to take the medication. I have to respect her wishes. I think with the medication, I think she'll have a better overall prognosis in the future.
That
hurt?
always
Yeah, a little bit of swelling there.
I'm nervous about the side effects. Even though the medications nowadays are a lot better, there's no doctor that cannot guarantee me that I won't feel a side effect.
For the last 6, 7, 8 years, we've had much more tolerable medications. The advantage is that people, number one, have less side effects, so the diarrhea, the nausea that people used to have is not an issue. And the quality of life issue in terms of not having to take pills 3, 4 times a day is no longer there.
I think it's clearly proven that patients who do take the medications live almost a normal life. We see that their blood counts return to normal, that their viral loads for HIV are undetectable. the benefits outweigh the risk, and the risk, you know, the risk of side effects are not as bad as the risk of the disease that's unchecked.
I always worry about the patients that we have that are HIV positive because their immune systems are so weakened that almost anything can come along and put them down for a good long time.
The question is if my way of dealing with this illness is the best way or the better way than medication. I think everyone has free will. They can make their own choices, and this is what I decided to do. I'm not saying that it's better, but it's better for me. When the moment comes, if I ever need to take medication, then I will research it and make my decision.
The thinking now is that we should start medication before the T cells get below 350. Now, this isn't a firm recommendation by the Department of Health and Human Services. Their guidelines still say below 350. But over the last 2 years, there have been these couple of studies that have shown that if patients start treatment actually below 500 instead of waiting below 350, their survival actually is improved. But we know for sure that the HIV untreated will lead to death. I mean, we have plenty of unfortunately dead people to prove that.
I decided that it's not the quantity of my life, it's the quality. This is the way I decided to deal with it. I don't even take a Tylenol for pain, so it's not only HIV medications, it's any type of medications. I'm very excited to be here and hopefully, you know, show people that I don't look like I have HIV. Anyone can have HIV and I'm just a normal person. I want to break the stigma and help other people and give the voice to those people that don't speak at all, don't want to say anything.
Thank you.
Dee's never denied, you know, that she has it. She confronts it, like you say. She celebrates or recognizes the actual infection date, the date that she was told she was positive, and now it's 17 birthdays for that date.
My goals in regards to HIV is be a voice to those people that cannot speak because they're scared of the stigma or they're scared to be rejected. My goal is to bring the point that it can happen to anyone, that there's no red flags. It can happen to a child, it can happen to your mom, to your sister, to your brother, it doesn't matter.
Unfortunately, HIV is overrepresented in the minority populations, Hispanics and blacks. And the reasons for that are very complicated.
¿Hay amistades o algo que quizás le han dado la espalda por el hecho de que su hija es positiva?
Hubieron personas, sí. Y gente que iban a la iglesia, escuchábamos la misa juntas, trabajábamos juntas y lo hicieron, sí. Pero yo bien tranquila, porque yo soy una persona que yo perdono a todo el mundo y como son ignorantes, pues yo los perdono.
There's no question that one of the issues is stigma that continues to exist to a great deal. I think one of the best things that can be done for the minority population, Hispanics included, is to have patient advocates that can actually share their experiences with them and, you know, tell them that it's okay, you're going to be all right, there's support out there for you. And also to educate them about the reasons why they're getting infected.
And you know, when you sleep with that person, you're not sleeping only with that person. You're sleeping with whoever they slept with before. And they might never tell you. You know how many people I know they have a wife and they go and sleep with a guy and they come home to the wife and the wife never knows. Huh? How do I cope? Wow. I still cry. But coming out to speak and trying to help other people, and the more I speak and the more I come out, and I say the stigma stops with me, this is the end, that helps me to keep going.
I'd like to begin with Dee. How do you talk to people and say, listen, you know what, this happened to me. I'm a survivor, I'm a warrior, I'm out there, you know, that are scared about getting that test?
You know, I always share my story because I think that's really important. And just to clarify, I was living with someone that I was going to get married to. Mm-hmm. He was my fiance back in that time. And I asked him if he was ever tested, and he said he was negative. And I trusted him. I encourage the women and anybody else to get tested. Because if you were someone, it doesn't matter if you're married, you don't know what your husband and wife is doing all the time. You're not with them 24 hours a day to see what they're doing all the time. So you got to get tested and retested. I usually meet people online.
That's a guy?
Yeah, I'll show you that. And on my profile, I write, I have HIV for 17 years. This is only for strong, intelligent men that can handle it.
Oh, he's 5'3", no.
I started dating someone almost a month ago. And when we saw each other, I just went like, oh. I didn't hear anything and anything else. I didn't hear the crowd. And he was just smiling a lot, and it was the chemistry, like right away. I was very honest with him from the beginning, and he researched it. That really impressed me. And he called me the next day. He said, you know, I'm reading this on the computer at the CDC website. I'm like, wow. He's really researching this. He really impressed me with that. I make sure that every sex encounter that we have is protected. Protection all the time. Nothing without protection.
You're listening to a podcast of This Positive Life, TheBody.com's growing collection of first-person stories from people living with HIV.
My colleague from the Broward County Health Department said, you know, they're looking for someone. Can you talk to them?
Why do you think it's important to be public about living with HIV?
For me personally, it's important because it's part of my healing. That's what helps me to keep going, knowing that someone hopefully is listening and they won't get infected.
And it's been amazing because she said, you know, can we give an email for people to come? I said, sure. And I said, no one's going to answer anything. Oh my God. All these people from around the world, from Egypt, from India, from Africa. Some people that because of my story, they're going to tell their loved ones that they have HIV. It's amazing to me. It blows me away. Your story really inspired me. I'm dealing with this disease for a long time myself. I never found the courage to disclose my status to my family members. At times I feel very lonely and scared, dealing with the whole situation all by myself. But your story has motivated me and given me a little courage to consider disclosing my status to my family members. So thank you very much. Sometimes because of this, I stay on until like 10, 11, because I'm so excited. I'm writing back and telling them stuff. And I wrote, hi everyone, many thanks from the bottom of my heart. I just wanted to share with all of you to give a hope. Hope is something that sometimes we lose because we don't see it. My hope was to meet someone one day, someone that will listen. Someone that would look at my heart without judgment. I always say to people, you cannot trust anyone. You can only trust yourself. And the only way you know if your partner or you have HIV is getting tested. You got to get tested and retested because you can trust no one. You can only trust yourself.
What's driving, let's say, the epidemic is the folks that don't know that they have it and therefore don't know they're transmitting it. And that's why it's so important that people be tested as soon as they become sexually active.
There's really no reason for anybody right now not to get tested. People can get free testing pretty much anywhere in the United States if they go to their health department or to any program in their city that offers free testing.
I always say, you know, that boyfriends and girlfriends come and go, but HIV stays with you forever. So you got to think about yourself, only trust yourself. Get tested and retested, okay? Thanks.